Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, so the snow and rain have stayed out of the forecast, but we're in for a cold afternoon at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. A few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And how about that defense last week? They pitched a shutout, and it's really more like a no-hitter because they absolutely dominated that game from the opening whistle.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay, just to make sure I'm clear, you have not voted for NFL MVP yet, correct?
I have not. I always wait till the end. I always wait till the end.
I do the exact same thing, but let's just be honest here. Does he still have a shot? Here we are, Week 16.
Yeah.
He's in the race, but is he really there?
Yeah, I think he needs a little help. It's fringe. Don't you agree?
I agree. I think he needs a lot of help. People have to play poorly down the stretch around him in terms of the other people who are the candidates, and he needs to be absolutely beyond spectacular. I think it's going to be really, really tough. But you know something? Being his team MVP, that's not such a bad thing, is it?
No, and he has been great for this team, no doubt about that. 8 quarters to prove himself. Now a pass here caught by Edelman. Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An early statement on the game's first play. 18 yards and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Set the tone, defense. Set the
First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And they needed to be, because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and they got it done.
Black 30. 53 is the mark. And that QB's trash. Let's go.
They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
They go jet sweep. Washington with it. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Second down 6. Like 80. It's a party now. It's a party now.
From the 41, Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Orchestrating the offense will be the top pick in the 2018 draft, and that's Baker Mayfield. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. This offense has a lot to account for, but at the top of the defense's list is OBJ.
I'm not sure how you really game plan for him, because no matter what you do, he finds a way to uncover himself downfield. And the speed gets it from his mom, a former sprinter at LSU.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Watch the slant, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Real. Hey, switch gears. Run. 58.
Hey, seam 6.
Here we go.
Now Mayfield. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. The reception good for 7. It's third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
And again, it's Mayfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
On first down, it's Samuels. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's no secret that this is a team that's built on passing, but as you always tell me, you have to throw the run in there every now and then to keep that pass sharp.
Yeah, you have to, because otherwise, if they never have to worry about running the football, it is just a controlled sprint to your quarterback, and eventually, you're calling on your backup quarterback.
But they got to do better than that last go-around. They went in the wrong direction. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
230.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. And this is caught. It's Edelman. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Mack Wilson. And a big... the football back. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right, it felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 24 carries, 89 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Check, point it right, point it right, point it right.
Here's Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play that time for Cleveland. 52 yards.
And there's another one-hander by Odell Beckham Jr. I almost get the sense that he's not happy if he has to use two hands nowadays.
Exactly. Well, we've all seen it, him going through those warm-up routines before the game. It's almost comical how good he is at grabbing a ball with one hand.
And I like what you just brought up there. He works at it. All right, those one-handed catches, they're not strictly by accident.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 12 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and we are tied at 7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead, so you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On 2nd down, Samuels. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. I think he gets a mulligan there carrying the ball because he had no shot, and that's why it went backwards.
I still remember in the summer we were at one of the training camps. You were marveling about how much those defensive tackles eat. I think he just inhaled a running back on that play.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
He's thrown 1 interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
The Browns drive about to get started, and they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case. Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coach was always saying, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Chubb. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Edelman set to return. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. The Patriots, they're out to an early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. They start the drive with Connor. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him early, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger got an open man. It's Washington. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead air.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 39 yards there, a big one.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back. Spence in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
27 yards there, a first down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On first and 10, Mayfield. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Taywan Taylor, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Throwing again on second down. Roethlisberger. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Ben to throw again. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. To throw again is Roethlisberger. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now Brett Maher for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. The kick by Maher is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little. They bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Hey, 133.
To throw, Mayfield. Going back to Lander. This time he's got him complete. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Mayfield now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10.
King. Hey, check. 3 down. 555. Hey, Haywood. You're not ready. Regular. Check 9.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He finds his target, Beckham. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Mayfield now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Mike 54. Mike 50. King. Hurry.
Mayfield with it once more. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. He was trying to go back to Beckham there. And it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Watch the slant. Point it right. Hurry. 54's Mike. Check. Run. 54. Watch the run. Smooth.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield.
I'm going back to you.
This is caught. Give him 30 yards there.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
Going to the air again with Mayfield. Flush to his right. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Baker Mayfield in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that makes it a 21-10 game. That time a 6-play drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there.
Come on, fellas.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Some for those final playoff berths. Let's get you around the NFL here in a busy Week 16. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In the game you're watching has been Baker Mayfield with a strong first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it. Check 99.
He'll have a first down past the 40. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Steelers' 25-yard line. So they dig a little deeper in the playbook there, get the wide receiver the ball, running it, and it proves fruitful.
Love the call. When you've got a guy who has running back skills, you want him to touch the ball as well, not just out wide where you throw it to him. Make sure you hand it to him or toss it to him and let him go to work.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb, and he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They run it again with Chubb. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run with Chubb, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit, a great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13.
Big stop, let's go.
From the gun, Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
23 yards, the final tally. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. And Big Ben intercepted a third time. Picked off by Demarius Randall. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Seibert on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them right now, not a done deal. So they are holding down one of the final wild card spots with 2 weeks to go. There are others kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And imagine what the talk has been all week within their locker room. And it's really, let's rely on ourselves, because they could get help and still get to the playoffs. But who wants that? Go out, win the game, take care of things yourself, and then you don't have anything else to worry about.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Well, they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more. And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Hey, alert 33. Check. Why? Hurry.
They run again on first down, Chubb. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Sean Davis that time on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, Creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it here. This is Mark Walton. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Come on, D! Mike 55! Mike 55! Hey, we got to get this stop here. Pistol. 55! Mike 55! Hey! Point it right. SOS.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5.
Still third down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for third and long.
Watch the screen. Regular. 55's Mike, guys, 55. Watch the slant. Hey, nice 7. Hurry. Mike, watch the curl.
Mayfield looks to throw. He finds Beckham, complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 40. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Chubb on first down, no room to roam as he struggles just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Noah Spence in on the stop.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hurry.
Mayfield to throw it. Now they go screen. It's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Mike 5-4. Hurry. Up. I got you.
And Mayfield just getting the play off. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
From the 24, Roethlisberger. He's got a man complete. It's Julian Edelman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make the play on the football.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
He's going to air one out. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And again, it's Chubb. Oh, Chubb fumbled it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Topper! Alert, 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 alert!
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield escaping the pressure right. And he's got the hook up to Landry. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
Good. 180. Check 55 to Mike.
Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
Hey, alert 33. My God.
A first down throw from Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
A 2nd down throw for Mayfield. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
Alert, alert, alert. Regular. Watch the whip.
They go with Chubb on second down. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. The Browns on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here.
The third down pass. He was brought down by Javon Hargrave.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Check three.
Here's Roethlisberger. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Again, it's Roethlisberger. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd and 10. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. On the ground, it's Chubb. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run on first down, and now they contemplate a 2nd and goal situation.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal.
I got you.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still 2nd down.
Can't afford another delay here as they come up again on 2nd and goal. And they take a knee. And back at the 8 now. 3rd and goal.
We got to get this stop. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the out. Watch the out.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always...
All of that rolled up into one, because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. In a division game, it's usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So for the Browns, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now in the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they'll be guaranteed a finish of no better than 500 as they drop to 7-8. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.